Chieng. We got so much to talk about tonight. Kamala reverse insurrects, Trump phones a friend, and we'll find out how to leave this planet for good. So let's get into Indecision 2024. It's a new day in America. Can you feel the delights? All that sunshine and roses or whatever makes people happy? No? Okay, well, maybe you're not looking hard enough.
We're going to begin, though, with the start of the something that makes this country so great when it happens. We're talking about the promise of a peaceful transfer of power.
Whoa! Peaceful transfer of power. Let's hear it for the bare minimum of a democracy. The first step of this was Kamala Harris calling Donald Trump to promise that she wouldn't do what he tried to do.
The vice president called President-elect Trump to congratulate him. According to a senior Harris aide, the vice president discussed the importance of a peaceful transfer of power.
Yes, Kamala called Trump, conceded the race, and told him there should be a peaceful transfer of power. And you know, as soon as Trump hung up the phone, he was like, yeah, that's great, pussies. So I guess American democracy still works as long as the guy who likes overthrowing the government wins the election, because then he won't overthrow the government. So with the transfer happening, we're going to be talking about Trump again every day for another 4 years, I guess. And I, for one, did not think that when I came out of the jungles of Malaysia to do comedy that I would be making jokes about Donald Trump every day for 13 years straight. 13 years. I don't talk about anybody as much as I don't talk about my mom as much as I talk about this guy. I don't talk about my wife as much as I talk about this guy. Yo, my wife thinks I'm having an emotional affair with him. I'm going to be talking about this guy on my deathbed, okay? Which I assume will be in 3 years when he somehow brings back the bubonic plague. And you might be sitting at home saying, well, Ronnie, why don't you just shut the up about Trump? Well, for the same reason CNN doesn't shut the up about him. Money! Lots and lots of money! So let's get these dollars right now and get back to Donald Trump. And you know what? Attitude is everything. I'm going to be optimistic. If Donald Trump can get some good people around him this time, maybe he'll do good for the country. I mean, who is he getting to help him with the transition?
I'm going to be heavily involved on the transition.
Great. It's take your dumb ass to work day. And what qualifications would Don Jr. be looking for?
I want to make sure, now that we know who the real players are, the people who will actually deliver on the president's message, the people who don't think that they know better than the duly elected president of the United States.
Yeah, no more smart people. Only people who look at my idiot dad and go, what a genius. And where is Trump going to find people who will do whatever he says? I mean, didn't they all die when they injected themselves with bleach? So let's see who these people are.
75 days from now, Trump returns to the White House, and right now there is an intense focus on who he will surround himself with. Florida Senator Marco Rubio, possibly former Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, maybe Secretary of Defense, former acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf, perhaps reappointed. Okay. You know what? Actually, not as bad as I expected. Marco Rubio, Mike Pompeo, they're basically professional political administrators, right? At least they're wearing suits and ties. It could be worse. And then there's some, shall we say, more unusual names. Steve Bannon, conspiracy nut Laura Loomer, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., and Elon Musk. Okay, yeah, it's worse. This cabinet looks like the division of the X-Men for the mutants who had too much mutation. They're like, hey, what's your mutant power? I just talk like this, and people trust me with their help. Okay, so this is the A-team, and other names floated for his cabinet include Hannibal Lecter, the Menendez brothers, the polio virus, and
for Secretary of Transportation, a Cybertruck with a Hitler mustache. Now, Don Jr. isn't the only one thinking about the transition. So is the guy who has spent the last 2 years trying to transition Trump into a prison cell.
Tonight, special counsel Jack Smith is now signaling he'll wind down his 2 federal cases against President-elect Trump.
The January 6th criminal case and the classified documents case are effectively over. DOJ guidelines are clear. You cannot prosecute a sitting president.
Great. Trump gets off with no punishment. It's just as the famous quote says, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards, sorry, ran out of time, he's president now. Apparently, you can just get away with your crimes if you win the presidency. And that sound you just heard is Diddy forming an exploratory committee for 2028. I mean, he doesn't even need any policies. He just hands out behind other people's policies going, yeah. So not only does he get off on January 6th, Trump also gets off on stolen documents. In fact, not only are they not going to prosecute him, they have to put the documents back where they found them, scattered around his toilet in Mar-a-Lago. Trump gets to be president. He doesn't have to go to prison, which means he doesn't have to sneak in a tanning bed up his rectum. And probably the best part for him is having the guy who kicked him out of the White House welcome him back.
Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition.
Oh my God, we get it, okay? You people love transferring power peacefully. Just on and on about it. Hey, maybe if Democrats tried an insurrection once in a while, they could actually start winning something. Because, hey, apparently, there's no punishment for it anyway. It's just a free shot. I mean, if it works, you stay in office, and if it doesn't, no harm, no foul. But, of course, Joe Biden couldn't call it quits without reminding people that his administration was about more than just you paying $50 for eggs.
Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people, but the vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have legislation we passed that's just only now just really kicking in.
Cool. All his good decisions are kicking in just in time for Donald Trump to take credit for them. Perfect execution as usual, Democrats. But as you heard, Joe Biden called Donald Trump to personally congratulate him and welcome him to the White House. And luckily, we at The Daily Show managed to get the audio of that call.
Hello? Donald, it's me, Joe Brandon. Congratulations, man. You beat Kalama. I don't know how you did it. Oh, I lied a lot and I was super racist. Oh, good. Well, that might have worked on Calamari in the semifinals, but you gotta be me, final boss. No, Joe, that's not how it works. I won the whole thing. Oh, God love you. Hey, who is this? It's Donald Trump. You called me. Well, good luck to you, Donnie. And promise me you take care of my precious dog, Commander. I'll do my best, Joe, but Christy Nome called dibs. I understand. I gotta be honest, Dan. I'm a little sad. Being used my old darn legacy. Now all I got is a high-scoring White House Pac-Man machine. Little yellow guy, eating dots all day. Sometimes fruit, cherries, and strawberries. Joe, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'll be honest. I'm also kind of sad. Running for president is my passion. But being president is a terrible price I have to pay for being so good at racism. What do you mean, Joe? You're Joe. I'm Donald. Oh. Look, what I mean is, now I have to spend all my time with RFK and Elon Musk, and they're weird. And this is Donald Trump saying that. Who? I just wish I could keep the campaign going forever. Well, I'll tell you what. In 4 years, if neither of us is married, we both run for president against each other. 4 years? You really think you'll make it that long? Hey, I might be dead, but I'm not old. What do you say, kiddo? You and me again, 2028. Best you'll ever eat. You beautiful son of a bitch, I'm in. I just have to ignore the part of the Constitution that stops me from running again. You think you can disrespect Constitution like that? Hey, who is this?